Hello everybody, welcome back to TADC Studios. I'm TDS, and I'm here to talk to you about a little known show known as The Amazing Digital Circus. I absolutely love this show, and seeing how big the show has gotten, it makes me feel super proud for the people at Glitch Productions as an OG fan. Ever since the pilot of this show, there's been two characters that stuck out as my favorite. Kane, who's easily the funniest character in the show, and the self-proclaimed funny one, Jax. Ever since episode 1, I always knew there was more to this bunny that met the eye, and after watching episode 6, I was proven right. So let's take a look in Mr. Funny Bunny's brain.
Wait, what am I doing? I wasn't paying attention.
Jax is one of the many prisoners of the digital circus. We don't know how long for sure he's been there, but he said that he and many of the other people in the circus have been there for years, and is 22 years old, so he might have entered the circus as a teenager, but that's just a theory. Jax believes that everyone in the circus falls under a certain archetype, since they're all cartoon characters in his eyes, and he sees himself as the funny one.
Listen, I add a key dynamic. I see how far I can push things, I screw with people, and I break the fourth wall. You wanna know why? It's 'cause it's funny. I do everything 'cause it's funny. 'Cause I'm the funny one.
And as the funny one, he uses his style of humor, which is mostly bullying everyone around him, most notably Gangle. And if he's not bullying Gangle, he's usually rage baiting everyone else.
Do you stop trying to force her to act like you?
Oh yeah, I should force her to be happy all the time instead, right?
Well, it's better than turning her into some insensitive jerk who deflects everything.
I can think for myself, guys.
Hey, I ain't forcing anything on you.
And then you just act like you never do anything wrong and everybody loves you, when in reality you just fuck everything up for everyone else!
But what would he consider the archetypes for the other members of the circus?
Ragatha's the cheerful one, Gangle's the sad one, Kinger's the crazy one, Zubal's the grumpy one, and you are the one who hasn't figured that out yet. We all just became archetypes.
Jax loves to cause chaos and mayhem at any chance he gets. And he really, really loves violence.
He's already dead.
I'm starting to think he has anger issues.
Nah, it's probably nothing.
And when he's not allowed to have violence or cause chaos, he gets a little grumpy. And he's basically the only one that actually likes Kane's adventures because he gets to cause chaos in all of them. Except for the more low-stakes adventures like the McDonald's episode, and a lot of the suggestion box adventures from episode 5. For the first 3 or 4 episodes of Digital Circus, Jax stays true to his jokester, trickster archetype. And we never really learn much about him until episodes 5 and 6, where we start getting fed a few more hints on what his backstory is.
Do you think Gangle is actually capable of being happy?
What?
I don't know, like her comedy mask still breaks every day. Does she think hanging out with Zubal is gonna magically fix that?
Maybe she just doesn't want to hang out with someone who's mean to her all the time.
She likes when I'm mean to her, though.
I didn't think you cared about what other people like.
No, yeah, you're right, I don't.
Do you have any actual friends?
Not anymore. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. I wasn't talking about that. That wasn't meant to be. Hey, Kinger! Did you see the fireflies all the way over there?
What was that about?
So the stargazing adventure is the moment where we finally get to see more depth from Jax than just him being the typical jerk character. And we learn that he has no real friends in the circus anymore. Gee, I wonder why that is. I hate to be the guy to burst the bubble of any Jax offenders watching this video, but Gooseworks beat me to it. Jax is not a perfect person. In fact, he's a massive jerk. And because of that, no one in the circus likes him. And for some reason, Ragatha saying that offends him a lot. But why though? Find out after this intermission!
Intermission time.
Hi, I'm TDS Studios, also known as Damari. In case you don't know, I'm something of an artist. In fact, I designed this logo on my shirt and all the art you see on my YouTube channel. And now I can design art for you, because I do commissions. Allow me to walk you through the commission process. Step 1. Send a request via the Google form in my link tree. It should be the first one you see. Make sure to read through all of the rules thoroughly and fill it out completely. Step 2. We'll continue communication and other things in my Instagram or other form of communication. Step 3. I'll send updates as I'm working on the commission and they'll be watermarked so no thieves try to steal my hard work. And step 4. I'll send you the finished product and remove the watermark once Cash App payment is complete. Prices will range from $30 to $50 depending on the complexity of the drawing. More complex designs will cost more than simpler art, and payment is done at the end of the commission process. Only through Cash App. I can draw original characters, video game characters, TV show characters, movie characters, your favorite celebrities. I can even draw you. I can draw almost anything. TADC Studios will not be drawing nudity, porn, overcomplicated designs, gore, fetish art, hate speech, such as racism, homophobia, sexism, etc., controversial figures, or realism. Here's some of my work with reviews from previous customers. And if you're interested in getting your very own commission, hop on over to my socials and get yours today.
And now back to the show!
During the intermission sequence, we see Jax stop by this door with a frog on it. This frog's name is Ribbit, and he is supposedly a friend of Jax, until he abstracted. And it's implied that this is the friend that Jax mistook Ragatha for talking about. We might not see a lot of Ribbit, but he's going to be very important when it comes to his friendship with Pomni. That is about to start blooming with episodes 5 and especially 6. Jax starts to befriend Pomni by introducing him into his mindset when it comes to life in the circus. Believing that, hey, since it's all just a cartoon, nothing really matters, so he can just treat everyone else like a cartoon character, simplifying them into archetypes, hence why he considers himself the funny one. Now this is where we get to the interesting thing about Jax's archetypes that I mentioned earlier. The archetypes that Jax describes the rest of the cast as are both really accurate and not accurate in the slightest. I rewatched the series with this archetype thing in mind, and it really puts into perspective how right and wrong Jax is. Because in the first 2 to 3 episodes of the show, you could see that Jax is pretty much spot on with these archetypes, but that's because in those episodes we hadn't really gotten to fully know the whole cast yet. But now, by the time we get to episode 5, hell, even episode 4, you can kind of see that these archetypes aren't actually accurate because they're more than just the one-note stereotypes that Jax tries to see them as. Because within the context of this world, these aren't cartoon characters. These are real people stuck in a cartoon world. And Jax is also a real person. So his whole archetype thing is just a way for him to dehumanize himself and the world around him. I can understand his thought process to an extent, but as we see in episode 6, this mindset is doing nothing but harming him in the long run. Jax's whole philosophy in the show relies on the 3 Ds: deflecting, denial, depression. And because of the 3 Ds, it gives me a little headcanon on the reason why he bullies Gangle so much out of everyone else in the circus. Not only because Gangle is the shyest and most vulnerable, but because he actually relates to Gangle the most. Exhibit A, we gotta go back to the McDonald's episode. Jax hates that adventure the most because he doesn't get to be super wild and crazy like he usually is. With Gangle in charge and being a very uptight boss, Gangle gets some well-needed revenge on Jax. But it also provides what I believe is the big reason why he hates the more relaxed adventures. And I think it's because it reminds him of the humanity that he's trying so hard to ignore. And in the anime adventure in episode 5, he talks about how slice of life episodes are the worst ones, which implies that he is actually an anime fan to some extent, or at least was. But he is of course quick to criticize it because it's Gangle's idea. Another good example of deflecting is with Ragatha. It's clear by episode 5 that Jax and Ragatha used to be friends, but baby now they got bad blood. But yeah, in the little rage bait clip I put earlier, you can see how Ragatha just despises him, and rightfully so. Ragatha rips into Jax's character for being a jerk that deflects everything, making life much harder in the circus than it already is for all of them, for really no reason other than being the quote-unquote funny one. But the problem with that is that the only person laughing is Jax. And the funny thing about Ragatha is that she's seen as trying too hard to be too nice all the time, which to an extent is true, and Jax says that he should let herself be mean sometimes, which I kind of agree with, but the problem with Jax is that he's mean 24/7. And the funny thing is that with the fandom, Jax defenders love to rag on Ragatha, pun intended, for the one scene where she yells at Jax and calls him out on his BS. But let's save that discussion for later. Also, when talking to Pomni, he tries to frame Ragatha as trying to take advantage of people. Meanwhile, his whole character is torturing people for his own laughter. Literally, the first adventure they do in this episode is Jax using Gangle as target practice. And you're trying to convince us that Ragatha is the one taking advantage of people?
Girl, bye.
Let's enter the third layer of Jax's deflection. For Jax, it's okay for him to punch down on others, but when others decide to punch down on him, suddenly it's not funny anymore. The most infamous example of this has to be the maid outfit that Gangle forces Jax to wear after a vote, and in episode 6 where Ragatha Looney Tunes the gun in Jax's face, which then results in Jax unloading a clip on her while she already died. Jax is a classic bully. He loves to punch down on others, but once they punch back, he doesn't like it anymore. And it's because of this that he doesn't really have any friends in the circus anymore. He sees everyone in the circus on the surface level as just simple cartoon characters and not actual people. And even when he's given the chance to open up, he doesn't do it because that would require acknowledging that these are real people and that he could have friends. And now he's become so deluded that he's just further spiraling into depression, but pretending everything is fine. Honestly, Jax masks more emotion than Gangle, and that's literally the whole point of Gangle's character design. Now let's talk about denial. Jax's coping mechanism of denying his humanity and the humanity of everyone else around him is extremely self-destructive, and it prevents him from making real connections with anyone. And I think a big reason why he hates the more realistic, low-stakes adventures is because it means that he can't be the funny one that he tries to be all the time. He cares so much about adhering to his archetypes that if anything challenges him, that he doesn't like it. Because he doesn't like change. He doesn't want to change. It makes you wonder what his life was like outside of the circus to make him want to be a cartoon character so badly, to the point where he's the only person in the circus that actually enjoys it. And the second biggest case of denial with Jax, besides his whole archetype thing, is how he treats Pomni, most notably in episode 6. In episode 5 they start forming a friendship, and then in episode 6 they become partners in the shooting game. But once they win, Jax realizes that he's actually been letting himself be vulnerable with Pomni, which is a big no-no. So he tries to push her away by trying to convince her and himself that they were never truly friends, which then leads to this.
You're not the funny one!
I don't think that counts. Hey, what are you doing?
Fight back!
Are you crazy?
I said fight back!
Stop! What's wrong with you?
Why didn't you fight back?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Because I didn't fight back, that means I secretly care about you? I'm just a misunderstood little chicken fetus in an egg that needs to be cracked open. Well, I am not. I do not care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings, and I get joy out of making you suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun. If I led you on, it was just to make this part hurt you more. There's nothing more to me. So please, just stop looking.
And now we get the depression. After having his whole belief system challenged, after all the deflecting, denial, masking, all of it, Pomni has read Jax like an open book. And so have we. Jax is a perfect example of the phrase, hurt people hurt people. He's clearly gone through tremendous pain with the loss of his friend Ribbit, and other pain in the real world that we don't know yet. And now the only way he can feel better about himself is to cause pain on others. But in reality, all he's doing is digging his own grave, hurting himself even more. We've seen him be a massive jerk throughout the whole series, and after all these episodes, I have a feeling that the consequences are catching up to him. Will Jax abstract? Maybe, and it's only a matter of time. unless he's able to truly change and heal himself for the better, but to be honest, I highly doubt he will. I love a good redemption story for these types of characters, but honestly, I don't really want Jax to have a redemption story. I like the idea of him like just fully becoming a villain. But whatever direction they go with this show, I'm sure it's gonna be great because Gooseworks is amazing. And as sad as it'll be to see the digital circus come to a conclusion, I do look forward to seeing where the story goes on from here, and to see what Jax becomes in the future.
God, you look stupid.
And that is it for today's rambling. I could truly go on and on about how amazing the digital circus is. And if you enjoyed me talking about Jax and want to hear me talk about the rest of the show and the other characters, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one.
Alone on a Friday night? God, you're pathetic.
And if you also like my art and are interested, I do commissions on my socials. If you go down to my link tree and click the first link, you can get a commission from me. The money goes a long way to supporting the channel and it's greatly appreciated. And another good way to pay money to support the channel is by giving donations on YouTube. They're not required, but they are very much appreciated. Thank you for watching this video, thank you for your support. This has been TADC Studios, and until next time, stay tuned and stay cool.